Hi there, savewith.crypto here. Okay, so yesterday I put out a video which was a part of the AMA, well, it included part of the AMA from Friday. That was Friday, the 26th of January 2024. The AMA with the ZoidPay team, mainly Eduard, Mihai, Stanica, and Mihai Popescu. The video yesterday included the content from the announcements by Eduard and the Mihais, talking about the good news that's there for ZoidPay and stuff. So if you want to check that out, just check out the video from yesterday. And by the way, this is still all live on Twitter if you want to watch it, or rather listen to it there. It's just that there was a few technical problems and there's a few bits that aren't exactly relevant, so I'm just pulling out the best bits and the bits that I think are going to be most useful and the most relevant to anyone interested in ZoidPay. So this was the start of the written questions that have been pre-submitted. So let's start here.
The first question is from Andrei Crăciun, who's also a tester of the super app, and he's asking the following. As a tester, I'm curious to know, is the super app / Zoidcore tested by dedicated test team, or is it done by the devs? And is the testing fully automated, fully manual, or combined?
I'm going to take this one. So the super app and Zoidcore, especially the super app, are tested automatically by default, even manual, and with the community. The percentage of how which part is fully automated and which is manual depends on the limitation. Of course, we try to do automatically as much as possible because we're talking about technology in the end. But some parts sadly are required to be manual. But it's a combination, and we're trying to do our best, and also not only internally, even with the community, to stress test, to load test, to find different flows that are working. So it's a combination, a more complex combination.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So the answer is that we have a combination, and plus to this, we also have the, as you said, the community testers, which go around 200 people who test the app. Some of them have some dev or QA skills. Some of them are just regular users. However, we do need feedback from people with different backgrounds, taking into consideration that the app will be used by regular users also. Not all of them are testers or have some in-depth technical knowledge. Moving on to the next question from Tudor Alexandro. After the first batch of approximately 75 million transferred from the shopping pools staking wallet to Todd's and KuCoin afterwards before Christmas, and the reconciliation between the treasury and the staking wallet, another 20 million tokens were again transferred to Todd's wallet. At this point, the staking wallet has 60 million tokens left. What is the total amount to be transferred to Todd's? Will there be another reconciliation? What is the total amount to be left in the company treasury? There are more questions in one. The main question would be, I mean, you have it also.
Yeah. I'm going to take this one. So as I previously said, every 60 days, there's a reconciliation between treasury and the staking part. There's going to be another reconciliation, yes, and we already updated the token .zoidpay.com website. It should be live, and there's going to be another reconciliation of approximately 20 million to the staking wallet. So you will see an updated version of the website of the tokenomics after the AMA.
Okay, awesome.
With all the balances they're stated as they are at this moment.
Okay, perfect. Now, moving on to Kiru Bakaran KV, who submitted 10 questions. So I'm going to take them one by one. Okay. The first one is roadmap for WAND token, utility, governance flow, votings, token distribution to ZPay holders, and SPOs. This is not a question, more like he's looking for an update on this topic.
Exactly. More like a one. So we chose to have one as a DAO and want to act as the gamification layer for ZoidPay. For this as a plan until the end of the month, we're going to have the governance set, and we're going to have calls with SPOs next week. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time till today to actually start preparing the calls or to discuss with the SPOs regarding this. What we want to do is come with a plan, and with the governance plan and with the voting and distribution, so that we will have the roadmap for WAND and the actual benefits in the super app and in Zoid Core based on the DAO governance.
Awesome. Let's move to the next one. Also more like a suggestion. So I'm just going to go through all of them. Okay, let's do this one because there are 10 points here. I'm going to go through all of them. And when there's a question, I'm going to stop. Okay. So we have possibility to have an option along with withdraw to move the LPs staked in Super Farm and WAND farm directly to ZPay farm without the need to withdraw and wait for 10 days. I see a big advantage in doing so. Then buyback plan for 2024, when it is expected to complete. Still, we have around 75 million tokens to be bought from the market for this program. Also, could you please explain how these tokens will be utilized in our ecosystem?
Okay, so this was more of a suggestion than a question, and there were some audio issues here. So Adam went on to explain the procedure for suggesting things within ZoidPay.
For suggestions, you can go on LinkedIn and you can submit suggestions over there. The team is checking them, and the best ideas will be taken into consideration and why not implemented. As well, you can drop suggestions in the Telegram group. All the suggestions are also forwarded to the team, either by me or Spiros. And of course, if somebody from the community has a good idea, why not implement it? So yeah, we're just going to go through the questions. Okay, so the question is about the buyback program.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to answer that as well. So we have plans by going cross-chain with the farms as well. So there's going to be a lot of interesting mechanisms that the boys are working on, and they will share more details as soon as this is added as an improvement or as an idea in Looped-in. And regarding the buyback, so as you've seen, we have an on-chain address as well. And in that on-chain address, we shifted some tokens from KuCoin. Yeah, we still have approximately, it's less than 75 million to be bought from the market. But I'm sure you've seen that on the on-chain address, there's daily buying. So we buy on a daily basis there. And regarding KuCoin, I said this before, it's the market making account that ZoidPay has there, and we have certain contractual limits on that. So that's why we chose to have the on-chain address, to have the tokens there, and to actually make the buys there, or to shift the tokens from where we can move them to the on-chain address. And regarding when is it expected to be completed, we're buying on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. So it's ongoing. The buyback program is ongoing, and we have the plan on completing the whole 100.
Awesome. Then moving on to the next one, but this was answered in in the previous AMAs as well, so you can just keep it very short if you want. How do we generate revenue in general for our ecosystem? Some insights on the revenue model and how it helps ZPay to gain value over time. I know it's a long topic and a long answer, but
it's definitely a long topic and a long answer, and there are multiple ways of generating revenue that we're starting now.
Now, Eduard's audio did cut out a little bit here, but he got it back quickly.
Yeah, so I said that definitely this has a lot of implications, and we have a lot of revenue generating mechanisms. The first one for the super app is the fact that we have a freemium model. Freemium meaning that you get for free certain limits and benefits, and for paying a certain amount on a monthly basis, you're going to get additional benefits, extended benefits, higher cashback, higher discounts, bigger limits for spending. They will also have ZPay implications in the sense that depending on how many ZPay you have staked or depending on how many ZPay you have in your wallet, you're going to see totally different features in terms of benefits, actually. Different discounts, bigger cashback. You're going to see deals and discounts to certain merchants that we started discussing with. So we're going to start from a local basis, from Romania, from Bucharest, and then we're going to expand slowly the benefits when we talk about the merchant side. For ZoidCore, it's clear we have a subscription mechanism. Based on that subscription, you get certain credits, and those credits help you build different products or services. So this is, in a nutshell, the revenue mechanism. What we're going to do as soon as we're approaching the launch for the super app, we're going to showcase all of the benefits that ZPay holders have. We're going to show the prices for the freemium model, and besides that, we're going to expose all of the fees that you have as a user.
Awesome. And I do recommend to go back to the October and November AMAs. They are pinned on our Telegram group. You can just search them there. Where you explained, I remember that you explained the revenue models in detail, Super App, ZoidCore, and what the team is building. So moving on to the next one. When is the next shopping pool slots made available? Is it possible to have few shopping pools specifically for one holders? Of course, selection based on action system.
First we go cross-chain, then we're gonna discuss more on shopping pool slots. Is it possible to have few shopping pools specifically for one holders? That's actually an interesting idea, and you should post it on LinkedIn so that we can vote upon.
Cool. Next question: what are the marketing plans to attract users to come to our ecosystem? Basically, focusing on Super App and ZoidCore products. Again, you spoke about it in the previous AMAs. However, this is our first Twitter space, so let's go through them again, just for the people who are for the first time here.
Of course. So for the ZoidPay Super App, we're tackling different personas, in the sense that what we did for the Super App is so you have multiple features in Revolut. You have crypto features in Revolut as well. But Revolut is first and foremost a fintech application focused on the fiat side with added features like crypto. We changed a bit the paradigm here, and we actually built banking around the crypto. So this means that
Eddie, sorry. You are going to build banking, and then you got interrupted.
Yeah, so we changed a bit the paradigm here, and we actually built banking services around the crypto persona. So it's a totally different way of building a fintech, and this attracted a lot of attention from the chains that we're discussing with. So, for example, in the call that we had today with Injective, this was an interesting, let's say, twist to what a fintech actually is. So how we're gonna market? We're gonna market it on the crypto side and also on the fiat side as well, because we have crypto benefits and we have fiat benefits. As soon as we go cross chain, this means that we're gonna scale to multiple communities. People will see the benefits. A lot of communities need instant liquidity for their digital assets, for their crypto. Projects want to add a feature like instant liquidity. So we're moving with our BD department in that direction. And for Zoid Core, being interconnected, so the super app is actually the distribution channel for Zoid Core, meaning that you as a developer or as a marketing guy or as a person that wants to learn more about the blockchain, you're using ZoidCore to build products or services that you can later publish in the ZoidPay super app. This means that you're going to have a marketplace there. In that marketplace, you're going to be able, as a user, to use different products and services you see there by creating a custom experience for you. So ZoidCore is actually a stepping stone for any chain that wants to onboard developers. And us going cross-chain means that besides we help the chain to onboard developers that build products based on their APIs, based on their stack, we also give them the distribution channel and the necessary liquidity. So these are the marketing efforts that we do with the fully finished products. And as soon as we go cross-chain. And besides this, we're working with, let's say, a crypto to traditional marketing agency that will help us along the way to push the fiat benefits and the, let's say, deals, discounts, the fact that we have localized IBANs. And as soon as we scale to different markets and different markets have different needs, we're gonna adjust the crypto marketing and the fiat marketing based on that specific market we scale into. So this is in a nutshell.
Perfect. I think you summarize it very very well. However, again, you went in depth on these topics in the previous AMAs, and I do recommend everybody to go and watch them. You don't have to just stay with your phone and listen to them. I sometimes listen AMAs in the car while in traffic, or I don't know, as a podcast at the gym or stuff like that. So you don't have to allocate 2 hours to listen to an AMA. You can do something else and listen to the AMA in the same time. Good. Moving on to the next question. What is the business runway for ZoidPay? The amount of time ZoidPay has to remain solvent, provided they don't raise any additional funds.
So we're now, like any startup does, actively raising funds. As I said in an update, we're discussing with investment funds to come on board as equity, so to be shareholders in the company. And besides this, the partnerships that and the news that I shared with you earlier will actually optimize our burn rate on a monthly basis when we talk about the development costs. So just to answer fairly on this one, the runway is, and this I said many times before, this is a business insight, a business topic. But what we have is 1 year runway in order for us to push the roadmap that we have and to release the products. But at the same time, we're actively raising funds and we're in advanced discussions with investment funds to come on board as shareholders.
To come on board as, and then you got interrupted.
To come on board as shareholders.
Okay, perfect. Moving on to the next one. What are the plans for Tier 1 checks listings? How do we ensure there is enough volume on the exchanges as we run into some issues with KuCoin? What is the status there? Will the ST tag be removed in the near future?
Yeah, so I already gave an update on Telegram related to the ST tag. So ST means special treatment. Special treatment means that there's not enough liquidity on KuCoin, meaning that we need to improve the liquidity. How we're going to improve the liquidity? We're improving it by going cross chain, and we're improving it by giving the products and releasing the products. The plans for tier one sex listings, it's clear. We plan on listing on the tier one sex listings after we have the products lined up.
Yeah, it makes sense because if you don't have the products ready, then a checks listing doesn't make too much sense right now. Moving on to question number 9. Revamp of website should be planned. We need to clearly define what are the use cases of each product and how ZPay used to fulfill the targets. Also, one website having all products basic informations and links to specific products for detailed information. And I think for this one, we can have one of the Mihais taking on, right?
I'll take it.
Please.
So yeah, that's a good idea, and every website has its own life cycle. The website that we changed in June, it does look like it needs an update. I agree to that, but first we need to. I would say that first we need to launch the products and try to gather as much information from the products and from other use cases that we might add, so that we have some sort of overhead regarding the information on the website. That's all. I don't know if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry. I was reading the questions and okay, so the last question from this user. Is there new strategic partnership talks ongoing? Is there any investors who would like to buy some percentage of the shares of ZoidPay? And I think part of the answer was provided in the beginning of this space by Eduard, but please just go ahead and say a few words about it.
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the PMA, besides development companies that want to come on board as shareholders, there are also investment funds that want to come on board as shareholders. Because, Mihai Stanica said, every website has its life cycle. Every startup is constantly discussing with investors and is constantly looking for ways to scale faster and to develop faster.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question from George Bakalis. Who is selling so many coins all this month and we have this price? Now, this is a question that I don't know if any of us can answer, because who is selling? It's a wallet on blockchain. But Eduard, if you want to answer this one.
Yeah, I mean, the answer is the fact that once we listed the token and we're on X Exchange, we're on Mexi, we're on BitMart, we're on KuCoin, a lot of people bought the token, and being a free market, everybody decides what they do with their own tokens. What we can say is the fact that we're pushing to have the products released. Um, the by far the best news for us and for the community is the fact that we got approval on the fiat side and we got the production endpoints for the fiat side. So you all know what this means. So super app is coming. Uh, yeah, it's a free market right now.
Okay, cool. Moving on to THS1. What is the status for the Romanian Football Federation? Is the contract signed? You provided us with updates in the beginning. However, I will transform this question because I saw in the English chat a question like regarding the Romanian Federation football is the partnership with the Romanian Football Federation when it will start. So do we have a date for it?
No, we don't have a date. We had the discussion today, and in this discussion, we had the financial offer for it and also the benefits. It's gonna be ZoidPay sponsoring the Romanian Cup, and we plan on moving as soon as possible with this. So we have everything lined up, and yeah, it's been in the making. We also had the holidays. We also had, uh, I mean, Romanian Football Federation uh, was on holiday, and you depend on these things. But now we have everything we need, so we can move swiftly.
Cool. Moving on to the second question from the same user. One of the Mihai's will take this one. What is the latest status of the Apple Store approval for the Super App?
Okay, I'll take this one as well. So just like I mentioned on Twitter, on Telegram about 2 weeks ago, it's still work in progress. We are currently at the 6th review that Apple has sent us. Basically, the way this works is that Apple takes a look at the build, and whenever they find something that they consider to be that they think that it needs review, they would just send that. We get back to them trying to explain what the thing does and why it's okay the way it is, or if they are right and we're doing the changes in the code. We send it for review, they accept it, and then they go to the next thing, and so on. So I think that there is no clear answer regarding when is the ZoidPay wallet going to be approved by Apple. I think that Apple is taking as much time as they need to understand everything. And keep in mind that at least from the experience that we had with Apple so far, it doesn't look like there is a single person dedicated to reviewing our ZoidPay wallets. And there's always a bit too much back and forth regarding the same topics. So just to make things a lot more transparent, just like I did 2 weeks ago, when I sent on Telegram a screenshot of the conversation with Apple, I will send an updated conversation with Apple where you will basically see more items in the conversation. So yeah, we're trying to get to them as fast as possible, trying to explain as many things as possible in as many details as possible, and also we're implementing changes if they're needed. But yeah, they're I would say that they're taking their time a lot in comparison to Google Play.
Yeah, it's pretty shameful that they don't have like a dedicated person to take a certain case and deal with it from start to end. It's like when you're placing an online order and you want to return it, and then you have to deal with different customer care representative to get updates on your return, refund, or whatever, and then they don't read the entire case, and yeah, it's not the best experience, but hopefully they will change something in the process.
Yeah,
Moving on.
to that I would
Yeah,
add
please.
also the fact that we need to factor in the fact that they also lack some blockchain know-how. So we're pretty much in a bubble, and we expect everybody else to know how blockchain wallets work and so on, but it's not the case with everybody in the tech industry. That's why it also takes a lot of time to explain to them and trying to come up with an explanation that it's simple enough and straight to the point, so that it would make sense faster rather than later. But it is what it is.
Okay. Moving on to the next user, Julio, or Julio, sorry. First question. Like ZPay will be on Solana very soon, and there are Saga phones there. Do you have a plan to airdrop something to Saga holders? Maybe discount for 1 year premium access, special NFT collections created via ZoidCore or some ZPay? It would be a good idea to have visibility from 20,000 holders. Most of them are OG Solana holders or good influencers. And I'm going to ask Mihai Popescu to answer this one, because you haven't answered in a while. So come out and let us know.
Thank you. So definitely there are going to be some programs with each chain that we're going to partner with in the end. The decision of doing something like this is going to be in the end a discussion between us and that project, that chain, in this case Solana, and of course the value of what are we actually doing. So yes, it might happen. It most probably will happen because it's a good idea, and as it was mentioned in the question, most of them are strong Solana holders and good differences. So yes, it might happen, but this is per chain, per feature, and you might expect something completely differently. And keep in mind that the value that ZoidPay we're going to bring to this project is going to be both with Super App and ZoidCore. So we're going to go a little more on the tech side with ZoidCore, and we're going to do some airdrops over there, do some increase the visibility over there, and again with the Super App with the Solana. So yes, we might do it.
Nice. The same user has another question, and since you already asked the first one, I'm going to ask you the second question. What are the next chains after Ethereum, Solana, BNB, and Polygon? And I can say right now Injective, because Eduard announced it. So any plans of new chains after those announced?
Yes, so definitely the next one is Injective. We are talking and we are discussing about other chains, but keep in mind that we don't want to lose our focus. Eduard talked about some external teams that will help us, and those teams will enable the support for other chains. But it's a more complicated. It's more. It's a discussion both on the technical side, on the business side, um, and contractual side. So there are going to be some other chains. We cannot disclose anything else at this point, and we don't want to go in discuss with 30 chains at the same time and drain our resources with all those discussions. We're going to take them one by one. We will, of course, notify you when we have a new partner. And yes, there will be, but it's going to take time.
Yeah, of course, it's very important to focus on the big ones first, and then you can start new partnerships and scale on other chains as well. We have, moving on to the next question, but it was already answered. Any plans to provide volume on KuCoin to remove the ST tag? This was already answered by Eduard, so I'm gonna skip this one. Moving on to Bogdan LS. What's the current status of the new ZoidPay office? Eduard?
Yeah, so regarding the new ZoidPay office, we were really excited on this. And we had a lot of promises along our years of functioning as a company in regards to investments and in regards to a lot of collaborations. And regarding the new ZoidPay office, watching in hindsight and looking back to
You
the
got interrupted.
decisions that,
Sorry. Watching,
yeah,
and then
no
you got
worries.
interrupted.
Watching in hindsight and looking back to the decisions that we actually took, it wasn't the best decision. So we were really excited and we wanted to scale so fast and we wanted to have that new office space and to have a lot of developers there in house. It wasn't a good business decision. Um, just to give you more details, with this decision, we actually lost approximately 350,000 euro or something like this. So we are not moving to the new office. There are not no delays. It wasn't the best business decision for us. We were excited that we're gonna scale and we wanted to have a lot of developers in house, but it wasn't the right moment. We had a lot of promises for investments from investment funds. They didn't pan out, but just to have it all in a nutshell, the best decision was actually not moving there. And at a later stage, we're going to scale, but we have to take things slowly and we have to first deliver the products and then think about scaling. So for now, we're fully focused on delivering the products and being in the market with the super app and with Zoid Core. And then we think about scaling and moving into a new office. So I saw this question being uh, asked on Telegram as well. Um, yeah, so we're not moving there. We're not moving to Sky Tower. We chose not to because of business reasons, and as I said before, there were a lot of funds invested into us moving there, but it wasn't the right time. So now the focus is solely on the products.
I would like to add something over here from the technical part. Also, building talent at the speed that we are expecting to do, it's quite difficult. Multiverse 6 had his time. They grown their team. This happened with a lot of other companies. But sadly, we are both in blockchain, which you cannot find that easy talent. So you have to go international with certain teams in certain areas for certain features. And also on the fintech side, where also it's quite hard to find talent, both from the management side, knowledge side. So the best decision over here is to separate a little bit the company in regards of knowledge and talent, and centralizing everything in one office in only one city, it's a difficult part. It's also difficult because we are in Bucharest, in Romania, different companies, especially in fintech, they move to other countries or do make this kind of moves. Uh, so yes, making a huge office and bringing everything here didn't make a lot of sense with the current developments. This should add on the business side of why we're not moving over there and why it doesn't make so much sense to push forward.
Yeah, it's a pretty good decision. The offices can wait. You can work from home without any problem. I do it, so don't blame me. Moving on to another question from CNRD-ish. About the wallet TODS, it is said that this wallet is part of your cross-chain onboarding strategy. Why is it selling so many tokens if it's part of your strategy? Part of your strategy is to sell ZoidPay tokens. The TODS wallet was addressed in the past as well. However, Eduard, it appears that some people either missed that part where you explain, or they didn't check what you said back then. So just a small recap on this wallet would help to clear things up.
Of course, yeah. So being the first AMA on X, regarding the wallet TODs, yes, it's part of our cross-chain onboarding strategy and also part of us onboarding the necessary people for us to scale the products, to actually put the products in the market. So why is it selling so many tokens if it's part of your strategy? This is part of actually onboarding those people as ZPay holders and them having skin in the game alongside us. So we're basically partnering up with the ones that we are onboarding so that we can move faster and push the products in the market.
Perfect. Moving on to KCS093. Follow-up questions. Let me see, because I think these questions are repeating. Where's the buyback fund? I think you should use it to get more volume instead of accumulating it to reach 100 million tokens. Please, we don't want to get delisted on KuCoin. It's been using it for more than 2 years now. So this is more like of a suggestion. Don't buy the 100 million tokens. Just use the funds to create volumes.
Yeah. So regarding the buyback fund, we already addressed this in regards to what we're gonna use the funds for. So the funds will be used for increasing the community, for increasing the adoption for Zoid Core, for rewarding and having incentives in the super app. So it's all about having all these ZPays back in the market to the people that actually deserve to be part of ZoidPay as an ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on to the next question from Ahibi, I guess it's the username. As we saw, when a project try to bring a new update or rebranding the project, they provide old products until new product is ready. Just one update need to go old to new one, so they can run on the track. So which thing obtained ZoidPay to stop providing its old service and waiting for the new one to be ready and go out off track? Is basically like, why did you stop the Chrome extension? And
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
About the Chrome extension, we actually had some interesting facts and interesting metrics that helped us build ZoiPay, the super app, better. So for the Chrome extension, we had approximately 4,000 users, from which 600 were active users. We had a volume of 200,000 euro, and based on that volume, we had average top up at around 170 euro. So a lot of valuable metrics, and these metrics we actually used for investors, and the ones that invest in fintechs know that these metrics are highly valuable, and percentage from the users that onboarded the Chrome extension, the active users percentage is huge. So we actually found the niche, which is the instant liquidity niche. Unfortunately, for the Chrome extension, we were working closely with a fintech which was called Filit, and Filit actually didn't work with us anymore because we chose another provider for going for the super app. The provider that we chose offered us more services in regards to full service across our retail users, starting from the KYC side, going to different APIs for the banking core services. So that's why the product stopped.
Moving on to the next question from mcyful03. Three questions. First is, can't you guys avoid F1 sponsorship, as people talk rather this money we should spend creating a blockchain for ZoidPay itself? So instead of doing the deal with the F1 sponsorship in the future to start and create a blockchain for ZoidPay. Do you consider this an option?
That's actually an interesting idea. And as I said regarding the sponsorship, it wasn't the best timing in regards to that as well. So when you do such a big sponsorship and when you spend so much money on actually sponsoring such an event, um, you need to have conversion. So you need to have ROI, and the return was actually null. It was only on the awareness side because we didn't have the products in the market. And I think the best marketing it's gonna happen once we have the products launched, and we're actually close to that time frame. So as soon as we have the products in the market, as soon as we have the super app in the market, we're going to start thinking about what are the best ways for us as a company to, besides generate revenue, to bring awareness and to position ourselves as the go-to super app.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Otherwise, it would be just a sponsorship on a car. People would see it, maybe go ahead, and if they don't have any utility or any product to use from ZoidPay, then they would just forget about it. And yeah, basically that's what will happen. It was a bad timing, as you said, and after the products will be released, then you can start make sponsorship and have also a retention
Exactly.
part
Yeah.
from the users. Otherwise, it's
Exactly.
just they see the logo and that's it.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, we cannot afford any more mistakes. I mean, we already did the mistake with the big office space without having the products in the market. We had estimations, we were overexcited, we were thinking that we're going to launch faster. We don't want to do this mistake, so we want to focus on launching the products. And as I've said in the beginning, we have the approval for going live, we have the production endpoints, the super app is the most important. So let's focus on that first, and afterwards having ZPay native on other chains, having partnerships with so many blockchain companies and traditional companies, we will be able to build a marketing strategy that will encompass all of our efforts to actually providing the best value for the users.
Yeah, and as far as I remember, you said in the previous AMAs that the Formula One sponsorship is not off the table. So it's still there. You can still do it at some point in the future, but it's the best to do it after you have the products, and it makes total sense. Moving on to the next question from the same user. When ZoidPay will focus on AI, or if there are any plans on doing so? I think this is a question for one of the Mihais, Mihai Popescu, maybe?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer this one. Yes. Right now there is like every time a couple of years ago there was Internet of Things, then it was blockchain, and now it's AI, the new fame. And a lot of companies are making a lot of hype with it. Said at the beginning, with each technology, there is a period of uh, just making it for the sake of making it. And as I told before, we're trying to focus our resources, not to spread it out, deliver, and after that, build on top of it. AI is definitely a feature that the Zoicore application will benefit from, but not in the current form. Except for a few simple interactions that are not that difficult, we won't be able to fully provide a benefit of using AI. One of the benefits that we're trying to make, as it's a lot of noise in the crypto space, trying to search for any basic information brings a lot of incorrect.
We lost Mihai, I think, or
Can you
is
hear
it
me?
just me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now you're back.
Okay,
Yeah, now you're
perfect.
back.
Yes. So there's a lot of noise on the internet. There's a lot of noise on how to do basic functionalities on with blockchain technology, and that is the future that AI will definitely help with. But we need to build a product, the basic product, to make simplifying the interface, the use cases, and after that we'll add AI. Again, we can benefit from it. We have the basic functionality. We can create tokens. We can do certain things with it. But it's not worth it at this point, and the value that it brings versus the effort is not worth it for now. In the near future, yes, we will focus on AI and fully, I don't know how to say it, refresh the perception of actually what blockchain is. And that's about it for the AI part.
I have another question for you, so don't close your mic.
Yeah.
Does ZoidPay live from Zoidverse? I think from Metaverse. I don't know what the user is asking with live, but let's rephrase it in is Zoidverse and the Metaverse still in plan?
Again, considering the resources that we have and not wanting to spread them over too much, as Facebook actually did, and they closed pretty much a big part of the Metaverse program. We are not leaving the idea. It's still on the table. It requires a lot of research, especially in the market. Sadly, the market didn't help us move forward as fast as we want with the Metaverse. And we don't have the resources to be pioneers in another domain. We have blockchain, we have fintech. Let's focus on those parts and not take also metaverse, at least for now.
Yeah, I can add on this one. From my point of view, I think that the metaverse topic was tackled by both traditional companies, as you said, like Facebook, but also by NFT projects. And from my point of view, it first has to be built something by a big traditional company who has the funds to develop something, and then you as another project or company can come and build on top of it in your own way. So right now, as you said, if Facebook closed part of their metaverse department, for sure it needs more research. And when I say research, I also include the technology, the way of how you can build it, infrastructure, and all this, because the term metaverse is very vague, and it can be tackled in different ways. So maybe my view on metaverse is different than your view on metaverse. So somehow it needs to find like a certain common ground and somebody to do it, and then from there other people can, or projects or companies can start developing on it. Good. Moving on to the last question from the real LM. What is the status of the 350 million user partner? Eduard?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer this one. So this is how actually Zoidcore started to uh, come alive and to have a certain shape in the Web3 universe. In the sense that first we started on the infrastructure level to see how we can improve the benefits, how we can add more features, and how we can change the way big companies, banks, or fintechs, or applications that have connection with fiat or crypto can improve their infrastructure and build faster. Then we added on top the ability of building an MVP faster without having so many costs So in regards to the 350 million user partner, we are still having discussions, and it's let's say it's kind of like a research phase in which we are digesting what's there to be built and what's there to be added on top of that infrastructure. So it's a maturity stage in which both us and the partner need to go through in order to see what's the best avenue to follow. um, it's a novel domain, Web3, and when you have this, you need to do a lot of tests, a lot of iterations. It's a lot of trial and error, and mostly for some companies it's a lot of error. For us, there were a lot of errors as well, but we've been learning, and now we're doing things as they should be done. So that's the most important update related to the partner.
Cool. So we are done with the questions that were previously submitted by the community. I just checked the chat and the comment section actually, and we do have some questions here. I'm going to go through them, and then we can go over to the live questions if there is anybody who wants to take the mic, please request the mic. I'm going to approve you. You can come up on the stage, unmute your mic, and ask the question directly. Okay, first comment, waiting for Andre and Steven to show up. We are also waiting. Steven said he will be here. Maybe he'll join the next one. The next question, when are we going to see the exact dates for the launch of the products? Asked by Daniel.
The exact dates. Well,
Yeah.
I actually detailed this a bit in regards to how we're gonna handle the roadmap. So we don't want to over promise this time. We want to over deliver. And as we've mentioned, we said around mid March for the super app, and 2 days ago we got the production endpoints, and we're moving with that. So what we need right now from you guys as a community is to actually have trust in us one more time, uh, let's say 6 months, and see what's being delivered. I think that's the most important thing.
Awesome. Moving on to the next question from Thomas. Also, thank you for the quote retweet, Thomas. I saw that. This is how you can help as a community by supporting the team. It just takes under 1 minute, I think, just to like or retweet or quote retweet or drop a comment at the posts to raise awareness. And it takes, again, under 1 minute. So Thomas has a question here. Will there be an option to stake ZoidPay LP tokens within shopping pools in the future? Maybe one of the Mihais can answer that.
I'll take it. So there are some things that we will announce in the upcoming weeks, but as you've seen, the cross-chain strategy is happening, and this brings with it a lot of changes, which also includes the way we're gonna stake and what we're gonna stake. And we will give you more details very soon. But the main idea here is that we're looking at different mechanisms for staking and for farms as well.
Cool. Let me just, because I closed it by mistake. Another question from Sigma Ben. The Ferefe collaboration is from which season? From the summer or right away? This one was already addressed by Eduard. The contract is on the table. There are some things that still need to be established, so we don't have an approximate time frame for it. However, it's 100% sure that you will be able to benefit from all those perks and use your ZPay tokens in different ways to interact with
Exactly.
it.
And one more thing that it's important to be added is the fact that um, remember that I said that we're gonna try to change a bit the way we're doing things in regards to NDAs and so on and so forth because we're a Web3 project and we want to update the community. What we did in the meeting today with the Romanian Football Federation was actually a first time because we asked in the meeting before having the contract signed that if we can discuss about this, if we can disclose some things to the community. And they said yes.
Awesome. Uh, Antonio Santos, please somebody record this to put it on YouTube for wider diffusion.
Okay, so at this point, what Adam said, he said that the recording would remain on Twitter Spaces, so you can go back and listen to it anytime you like, which indeed is the case. You can go and do that. This is obviously the reason I'm doing this, and I also thought I'd add a few comments and stuff along the way, and also tidy it up a little bit because there were a few like audio dropouts. Now, if you're still here after whatever it is, nearly an hour, then congratulations. There is a bit more where we actually ask questions live, and I'll do that in the third part of this. I think what Eduard has said at the end, which was kind of like, have trust in these guys. The ZoidPay is probably always going to have its haters. And to me, there's two sides to this. There's the part where Eduard said, we can't afford to make another mistake. Okay? So if they do make a mistake, a big mistake, that could be the end of ZoidPay. So I have to have trust in ZoidPay, and I'm actually really, really pleased. Things like, money isn't getting spent on a new office, money isn't getting spent on an F1 sponsorship and all that. Just get that bloody app out there, and then everything will fit into place, I think. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people will have comments, and there will be enthusiasts, there will be haters, there'll be everyone. So do leave the comments down below. I want to hear them, good or bad. That'd be great, and we can have a discussion down there as well. While you're down there, please give the video a like, make sure you are subscribed, and you've got the little notification bell set on all. And above all, seriously this time, if you're into ZoidPay at all, tell your friends.